Imagine a beauty brand that doubles its revenue in 1 year, surpasses 1.5 trillion Korean won, and decides that selling skincare just isn't enough. Today, we're looking at APR, the parent company of Medicube. They aren't just expanding, they're moving up the value chain into professional-grade medical devices and hospital equipment. The real question isn't whether this is bold, it's whether this is the inevitable future of beauty tech. Welcome to Crying in OY, short briefings on what's changing in Korean beauty retail and why it matters globally. I'm Zach, reporting from South Korea. So let's break this down. At this moment, Medicube is a household name in global K-beauty distribution. The Zero Pore Pad continues to rank among top sellers across Amazon, Sephora, and Ulta. But the real story is APR, the company behind it. In 2025, APR recorded 1.5 trillion Korean won in revenue, approximately $1.02 billion. That figure represents nearly double their 2024 performance. Of that total, 1.2 trillion came from overseas markets. So this is no longer a domestic success story, it's a global revenue engine. A significant portion of US growth came through Ulta Beauty during their exclusivity period. With that contract concluded, APR has entered negotiations with Walmart and Target. Potential rollout across roughly 2,000 Walmart stores is under discussion, alongside positioning within Target's beauty category to preserve the brand's clinical tech identity. That said, APR is not dependent on brick-and-mortar expansion. In 2025 alone, online revenue tripled, driven heavily by Amazon and TikTok shops. Japan has also emerged as a strong device market, and European big-box expansion appears to be under evaluation. So, why move into medical devices? Mass cosmetics are volume-driven and promotion-sensitive, which compresses margins over time. There's a natural price ceiling in skincare. Energy-based devices, or EBDs, operate on a different economic model. These include technologies such as HIFU, which is a high-intensity focused ultrasound, radio frequency, and laser systems. Unlike topical skincare, professional devices significantly increase ASP while introducing service-adjacent revenue potential. APR plans to release 2 professional-grade medical EBDs for hospitals in the second half of this year, while continuing production of their consumer APR home devices. This creates a strategic treatment loop, which goes clinical-based procedure, then an at-home maintenance, and then we repeat with the clinical visit. That loop increases lifetime customer value and anchors brand credibility within the medical ecosystem. This move also aligns with demographic realities. South Korea's population is aging rapidly, with over 20% now aged 65 or older. Demand is shifting from preventative beauty to longevity and regenerative maintenance. In late 2025, CEO Kim Byung-hoon stated that APR's mission has evolved from beauty to overcoming human aging. The company is positioning itself within the broader biohealth and longevity category. APR recently opened its third campus, focused on PDRN, an ingredient associated with tissue regeneration and skin repair. Beyond cosmetic use, PDRN has applications tied to wound healing and barrier restoration, conditions that disproportionately affect older populations. Rather than diversifying via M&A, APR appears focused on vertical expansion, strengthening in-house R&D, expanding device capabilities, and reinforcing clinical adjacency. So, what are we watching for in 2026? APR began as a digitally native disruptor. It expanded into home devices. Now, it's migrating towards professional medical infrastructure. Crossing 1.5 trillion Korean won in revenue places APR among the most significant independent beauty tech players in Korea. The retail negotiations with Walmart and Target are important, but the larger story is margin expansion and category repositioning. They're no longer operating solely as a skincare brand. They're positioning themselves closer to the regenerative medicine and longevity ecosystem. So what's the larger story here? APR isn't just expanding its product catalog, it's expanding its position in the value chain. Cosmetics alone eventually faces pricing ceilings and promotional pressure. Moving into professional grade devices allows APR to rise average selling price, strengthen clinical credibility, and build larger customer life cycles. So, what we're really watching now isn't whether they can sell more skincare, it's whether they can execute inside the medical infrastructure space, where regulatory approvals, hospital procurement cycles, and device adoption speeds will determine how far this expansion can go. If APR can successfully bridge clinical-based treatments with at-home maintenance devices, they won't just be a beauty brand with a strong revenue. They'll be operating inside the longevity and regenerative ecosystem, which is a much bigger category entirely. And that's the shift worth paying attention to in 2026. So, if you work in beauty retail, brand strategy, or distribution and want more inside Korea breakdowns, make sure to follow Crying in OY and subscribe wherever you listen. For in-store notes and retail observations, make sure to follow Crying in OY on Instagram. I'm Zach, and I'll be seeing you in the next briefing.